Okay, everybody, welcome to day 3 of our Ocean Week Hangouts. Today we are talking about exploring the deep, giant squids, sharks, and technology. You're going to meet our experts from Orca, OCEARCH, and XPRIZE, and we're hoping that Dave Gallo from Woods Hole will join us, but for right now we're going to carry on. We're looking forward to introducing you to everybody, learning about their experience, their expertise, and figuring out why we need to care so much about our beautiful big oceans and why we need to explore the deep just a little bit more, if not a lot more. So without further ado, we're going to get started, and I'm going to introduce Edith Widder. Edith, please introduce yourself.
I'm Edith Widder. I'm the President and Senior Scientist of the Ocean Research and Conservation Association, and my area of expertise is bioluminescence, all the crazy, wonderful animals in the ocean that make light.
Phenomenal. And Chris Fischer from OCEARCH, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Chris Fischer, founding chairman of OCEARCH. I've led 16 expeditions solving the puzzle of the ocean's giants since 2007, primarily focusing on our large sharks, and build massive educational and live free tracking products around that so the world can be enjoyed with exploration and see what's going on and fall in love with the world's oceans and care about their future today.
And last but not least, Paul Bunje from XPRIZE. Can you please introduce yourself?
Of course. I'm a senior director in charge of our oceans prizes here at XPRIZE, and for those not familiar, we at XPRIZE run large-scale incentivized competitions to create radical breakthroughs for the benefit of humanity. And later this year, we're going to be launching our second Oceans Prize that I'll talk about in a little bit more detail later.
That's great. Thank you so much for participating. So I just have a pretty general questions to start out the conversation. And I really want to know, why do we need to care so much about the deep sea? It's been said that less than 2% of our deep sea has been explored. And it seems like we know a lot about the moon, a lot about Mars, and very little about the ocean. Edie, can you speak to us about why that is and what your experience has been in trying to do research and explore the deep sea?
Well, I mean, we live on an ocean planet, and you know, I think people know that about 3/4 of the surface of the Earth, 71%, is covered by water. But that's just surface area. If you think in terms of the living space on the planet, because the oceans are so deep, they actually represent more than 99% of our biosphere. And so what we're talking about are the basis for the engine for life on Earth. It's our life support system. And yet we've explored remarkably little of it. We understand too little of it. We need to be doing a lot more to protect it. And we've put very, very little money into exploring the ocean.
Chris, can you speak to us about your experience in exploring?
Well, I got involved in this and immediately noticed what Edie had talked about with the lack of money that is available for researchers around the world. So I set out on a journey to try to create a kind of perpetual funding source by leveraging you know, exploring on the ocean and sharing that with the world, creating educational components around that and content around that to get large Fortune 100 companies to come in and fund the research to create then a vessel that can travel around the world and enable people like Edie and other marine biologists, researchers in the last 4 or 5 years. So we really got focused on the ocean's giants, focusing on things like the great white shark. We know very little of their life, much like Edie mentioned. We don't know where they're feeding, we don't know where they're breeding, we don't know where they're giving birth. And until we solve those puzzles, we can't affect policy, you know, to make sure they have a support. Well, these are the lions of the ocean. These are the great balance keepers of their ecosystem. So we got to solve the puzzle of their lives to make sure we can affect policy to ensure their future and a robust, sustainable future for the ocean and all the fish that are within the ecosystems that they maintain and keep balanced. And then in an effort to kind of, and we do pioneer that research now to affect change now, policy now. But from a generational standpoint, we then give away all the tracking, and we're giving away a full K through 12 STEM-based educational curriculum starting in August, so that all of the kids around the world can track the sharks real-time live right beside our PhDs, and then that live dynamic tracking turns into their math curriculum, their science curriculum, their geography, geology. This is the shark tracker right here. This is the real-time tracking of over 35.
I'm not sure what just happened there.
First of all, after
I think somebody's computer might be on the fritz. I'm not sure what's going on.
I think my computer's fine.
My computer. I will turn that down. Can everybody still hear me? Fantastic. Well, I went on a website and things just went a little bit kaput, so apologies. Please continue to explain. I will screen share once more. I'm going to screen share some of your. I'm going to screen share some of your photographs.